What is up, everybody? This is FNH News Reviews and Toys here with a brand new video to talk about Ethereum Classic. Should you buy Ethereum Classic, or is it a good time to buy Ethereum Classic? Is it worth it? All those other good stuffs. So I'm gonna get right into it. So I know I made a video last week regarding Ethereum, if you should purchase that or not, and my advice was yes, you should go for it. It is at a very good low price point, and yeah, it's actually a very good investment. And I'm going to talk about Ethereum Classic more of how I have dealt with Ethereum Classic before in the past. Is it worth it to purchase it right now at this moment? Is it going to be a good possible future investment, etc.? I'm going to give a few of my assumptions, and then we're going to go from there. So just to get into Ethereum Classic, so initially, this is like a fork that happened from Ethereum to Ethereum Classic because of how they were changing their mentality and ideology per se. So this was like a fork of it that occurred back in the day. I don't remember the timeline, maybe 2016, I believe. That is when the fork occurred. And essentially, Ethereum Classic it works in a similar sense. I know it has like some tweaks and different like attitudes or how the whole coin in general, the concept is of it. I don't want to get a little bit too deep into it. I'll probably leave that for another video, but I want to discuss more on why I believe it'll be more worth it, basically worth to purchase. So when I initially found out about Ethereum last year and I started purchasing that, I started trading those, buying it and selling them. Currently I have some on hold as well because I bought them at a good low price. For Ethereum Classic, I remember I had a mining rig before that I had built myself, and I was doing Ethereum, and I stopped doing it because I was getting 4Fs a month. This is in the beginning, so I had a really good machine. I think I don't recall what I had. It's been a while. It wasn't it was not the GTXs. I had the other cards, and I had like all of those setups. And long story short, I started doing Ethereum Classic instead because I found out I could do Ethereum Classic with dual mining of SIA coins. So I got a ton of those as well. And I used to get like a good amount of Ethereum Classic, like 40 to 50 a month. And again, this is like in the beginning of 2017 where still, the hash power rate was low. Not a lot of people were mining it. So you had a good chance of getting a lot of those coins. It got tough now because I remember I bought my friend a machine as well, and he was getting 10 Ethereum Classics a month. And this is when it was worth $20. So it was kind of worth it, but it was still like not as insane as how I was getting it, like 50 plus a month. So obviously that was much more worthwhile. And essentially what I did was I mined a lot of them, and I remember when the first price hike happened, because the price range of Ethereum Classic was about this as well. Like it was around $10, a little less sometimes. Sometimes it hit 15, but I remember once it spiked up. I think this is when Ethereum was also spiking up. It hit about 25, and I sold a good chunk of them, like 100 plus, like 200 I believe I sold of them, and I made a good amount of profit on those. But then I started stopped mining them. I kind of sold my rig. This is like when I just stopped mining it. It wasn't worth it anymore. Like electricity cost and all those other different factors kicked in because you were just getting so many little coins. The value wasn't going up as expected should have with the coins value and whatnot. So it wasn't worth it. I was like, screw it. I sold the rig. And then in general, I remember the Ethereum Classic price went up to like 40 plus, and I was like, my God, I should have just sold it now. You always think that, like, oh damn it, I messed up. But obviously the coin dropped significantly after that, as did all other coins. Just to show you an analysis. So if you look, as I said, see, it's relatively new. The price was just as low as when Ethereum was when it started. Overall, it's only up 400% for the in its lifetime. Again, Ethereum is still insanely high. I think it was 10,000% because it started off at the same price point but a much longer time frame ago, and it's at 100 plus right now. Still low compared to what it hit its all-time high, 1,300 plus. But yeah. Let's see, let me see. Yep, see, it was 40 bucks. I was right. It was like about 40 bucks. It's high. And that's still low, relatively low compared to what Ethereum hit. But it's still relatively new in that perspective as well. And this is one of the top coins as well. Its volume is high. Its market cap is $500 million. I know it reached over a billion, a few billions before when it did go up. I think it's in the top 10 coins. It's on Coinbase. To me, something on Coinbase is a huge plus because a lot of US purchasers and buyers, they would always purchase stuff on here. And the reason I would give this a buy, or my recommendation for you guys to purchase this, is once Ethereum itself, not Classic, goes to full, you can't mine it anymore, because I know they're trying to change the logic where you just have the coins, a certain amount of coins, and it'll basically you'll be able to, I believe, what is it, POS coins, because the proof of work is when you actually mine it. Proof of stake is when you just have the coins and it just basically leaves you a percentage itself to the coins. I know I have a few of them. Red coin is one of them. I have a few of those coins as well, where it basically I just have them on hold. I just have them like on the side. They're literally, you have them, you get a certain percentage depending on like the availability, on how the coding is set up and whatnot, and you get a certain percentage of those coins. They do decrease it over time, so the value is worth more of the coin, and it just goes in that perspective. But as obviously as you can see over here, this once Ethereum goes in that direction, because they're trying to do a different one where you have a certain percentage of the coins. Like if you have 100 Ethereums, I know I'm just saying that number. I don't know what exact number is. I know there was talks of making it 20 plus. This is when it was like $700-800. I was like, that's a lot. It's gonna be tough. But obviously, now you can easily get that. That shouldn't be too much of a cost to get. You can definitely get like 50 plus, put those, and then it'll automatically mine itself. You'll get the coins in that work. So, but then once that happens, all those miners for Ethereum, because a lot of people mine that, are going to move over to Ethereum Classic, and then it's basically going to just chunk into that. It's either they're going to go there, which I personally feel like that is what's going to happen, or they're going to diverge off into other coins. Majority will probably go to Ethereum, so a lot Classic, and a lot of that pump is going to happen, and then it's going to basically be the next one they're going to be focusing a lot on. And again, it's a fairly new coin. A lot of people are going to want to be in the mining perspective and join it in this sense, and then they'll go from here, and then you'll see the Ethereum Classic rise up more from there. And again, I feel like it's a really good price point. It's only $4 right now. You can't even go wrong with this one. This one you can have a long term. This one I have a personal. I have 37. I keep purchasing like every month, about $50 to $100 worth. Gonna be very straightforward with you. That's literally the price range I'm purchasing. As you can see, I started purchasing that 37. I think I bought some at $4.50. I bought some at $5 because it went up, and I was gonna buy more. Like I'm thinking of buying. I'm debating a little bit if I should wait a little, because I've seen it drop. As you can see, the past week it's up. It's like relatively the same position. I wanted it to drop to $4 so I could purchase some more, maybe $100 worth, get a bunch of coins in there. I just want to like load up on the Ethereum Classic as much as I can, because it's a very low price point. I have a long term plan for this, like 5+ years, because I feel like this can relatively go very high. Even if it hits 100, that's an insane amount of growth, but I feel like it can go much higher. I have faith that it can be as high as how Ethereum went, because they usually can follow in the same direction. Bitcoin Cash was a good example of that, where it started off at 300 and its high was like 3,000 plus at a point. I think even higher than that. And as you know, there was like points where it was like getting so near to Bitcoin, like Bitcoin was just dropping, Bitcoin Cash was just going up, and I was like, whoa, is it gonna overtake it? Because that's what everyone was saying. Bitcoin Cash is a much better Bitcoin version. Buy that instead. This is again in 2017, and I almost saw it happen. I was like, whoa, okay, this seems it could happen. But again, even if it doesn't, even if Ethereum Classic just hits 100, I will be very happy with that. You can make a shit ton of profit with that. You can literally do the math. If I have 37 and they hit 100, you can literally see how much that is right there. you can see the profit you would make from how much I spent to the amount I have. That's hence why I'm trying to purchase even more of the coins, and trying to have like a good chunk amount for it. So easily, like when it goes out to at a decent price, I may sell some of them to get like a good chunk of money, and then keep the rest, because it's always never to get too greedy. Just like, oh, don't think it could, but it's crypto world, anything can happen. But don't think it'll hit 19K like Bitcoin. Maybe like 30 years from now. But yeah, that's my assumption, and that's my goal on how I believe, and this is my advice to you guys. I would definitely suggest for you to buy it. Give it a shot. It's again fairly cheap. You don't even have to go nuts on it. Buy $20 every month if you can. It's still at a very good cheap price point. You can easily sell this at a good. Again, this is a good coin. It's one of the most trustworthy coins. It's on Coinbase, which is always a plus side, that a lot of exchanges have it. It's used. It's viable. The developers do work on it. They give regular updates, which shows that the coin is being worked on and whatnot. And yeah, so overall, I do like that. As you can see over here, I know there was a recent hack on it recently to talk more about. I think 100K of Ethereum Classic was stolen, but it was a white hacker, and he was not a white person. It was like a white hack, and they were just trying to show, like, yo, this is unsecure. You should work more on it, which shows the developers, like, hey, we do need to work more on the crypto community, because you can see the community is still active, so they definitely do still work on this. So those were my thoughts, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you guys think about this? Are you going to purchase it? Do you hate it? Do you love it? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. But other than that, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. It helps a lot. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe and click that notification bell. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, let me know in the comment section below. And other than that, FNH out. Peace.